Alright, so here I am again with another video game review. Since I have no desire to go see Thor and I'm still waiting for 12 Years a Slave to come out where I'm at, I decided to do a review of Grand Theft Auto Online, a game that came out, or really, not really necessarily a game, but something that was launched a little over a month ago, came out October the 1st, but I've just been waiting for Rockstar to kind of patch things up and add some more features like the heists. I don't know when those are coming out. First off, you have this massive world to explore with your friends, and there's many, and I mean many things to do in this game. Pretty much anything that you can do in the single player, you can do here. The only thing is that you can actually do it with real people, which adds a lot of fun to your experience. Basically, you know, you have the team deathmatch, you have the racing, which is what I like to do. You have parachuting, you have arm wrestling, jet ski races. There's even racing with aircrafts, there's tennis, there's golf. Pretty much anything you can think of is in the multiplayer, which, like I said earlier, makes it more fun when you're playing it with people. And what's also cool is that you can upgrade your character in a variety of ways. You can upgrade his stats, you can upgrade his, I guess, his overall appearance. You can kind of make him look snazzy and all that stuff. You can get him some nice little clothes and some cool hairstyles. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. There's supposed to be even more stuff coming in the later months. You can also upgrade your ride, your vehicle. You do this mainly by winning races and by just kind of raking up, but most of it is done by winning races. That can be problematic if you suck at racing. You can also cheat, which some people have done that, and that's how they've upgraded all their vehicles and all that. I don't cheat, I don't do that stuff. I'm going to get, I guess, a little bit more into that as we go further into my review, but just in case you have absolutely no luck at winning races because people are dicks, you can do it that way. So basically, with all the stuff that's available for you to do, it creates a very addictive experience. It's something that I can easily waste 1 to 2 to 3 hours on easily without even really realizing it, because it is fun upgrading characters in this game, or at least I find it to be, and I think it's fun upgrading the vehicles, and it's fun to do the races. That's all great and all, but now I gotta talk about some problems that I've had with this game, and there are a lot. So I'm going to start off with pretty much the main problem that most people have had with Grand Theft Online, and that of course is the glitches. I mean, it's been a while since I played a game of this kind of stature that have had problems like Grand Theft Auto Online. I mean, during the first day, all this shit was crashing. You could barely get into a game. I mean, hell, I eventually did get into the game pretty much at like 8 o'clock at night. I've been trying to get in pretty much ever since I got back from school, which was, hours, which is kind of ridiculous. Sometimes I would get in and then just automatically it would just crash. I mean, there were so many problems during that first day, and they continued on for a good 2 weeks after its release. One of those being, of course, the characters being deleted. One of my characters were deleted. Luckily, I wasn't too far ahead. I was only a level 14 or something like that, but I was, saving up money, so I was kind of pissed off to kind of see that, okay, all my stuff that I was working towards was gone. I know some people, they had already $1 million or so saved up in their accounts and all that, and they've already bought houses and cars, all this expensive stuff, and it was gone. The only way you could have actually have saved your stuff is if you hadn't have spent it, because my bank account was still there. Unfortunately, like I said, all my stats were gone, but like I said, if you were someone that already paid for all that stuff, you lost it. It was gone. And especially if you were a rank, maybe perhaps 50 plus, and your stuff was gone, I don't think too many people were that far ahead, but in case some people were, that was gone as well, and therefore, you're pretty much all out of luck. Now, as you all know, Rockstar did release their little stimulus package that they released this week, and, it's only $500,000, fine, cool, whatever, but what about the people that actually lost more than that? And, I think that's just kind of a little ridiculous. I think they probably should have done a little bit more than that, in my personal opinion. Rockstar, what can I say? They fucked up big time. They did. I mean, really, Grand Theft Auto Online really does feel like a beta rather than a finished product, and Rockstar knowingly released a faulty product. They really should have waited like another month or two before they even put the servers up for Grand Theft Auto Online, because it just wasn't finished. I don't know if it was Take-Two's idea or Rockstar's idea or you know, whoever. Someone fucked up. And quite frankly, it's these kinds of problems that are embarrassing for a company like Rockstar, and it should have never happened. But now I want to talk about something else that's been kind of a main problem with Grand Theft Auto Online, and that is the community. The community of Grand Theft Auto Online, it's made up of complete dicks. I mean, there's really just no other way to put it. Everyone that plays Grand Theft Auto Online is pretty much a fucking asshole. I mean, really, they just kind of want to ruin your experience. They want to blow up your shit. They want to kill you. They want to take your money. It's a bit annoying. And what's sad is that there are many solutions that could easily solve this problem, and Rockstar decides to do something that just doesn't work. For one, there's a lack of modes. Why not make a mode for people like myself or someone who just wants to play the game, not have to worry about people killing them, like a friendly mode, kind of like Red Dead Redemption has done, which is completely brilliant because, you know, when I go do those little missions in Red Dead, I don't have to worry about some asshole killing me. Usually in Red Dead, I would have to create like a solo session in order to keep people from killing me because, well, you know, when you're trying to do something and some asshole just comes out of nowhere and blows your fucking head off, it's a little annoying. I don't know why Rockstar hasn't decided to actually introduce a mode like that. My guess would be because they would deem it to be too unrealistic. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, your illusion has already been pretty well destroyed in Grand Theft Auto Online because of all the glitches and all the problems. I mean, really, it's pretty damn faulty. But one thing that Grand Theft Auto Online really needs is a simple free mode. A mode where you can go kill one another. You can blow one another's cars up and not have to suffer these stupid consequences. You can get killed by the cops and not lose your vehicle to the cops or, you know, get impounded. Or you need a mode like that. A free mode where you can do all that stuff and not have to suffer these dumb consequences. The game punishes you for just having fun. I mean, really, that's the main reason to play Grand Theft Auto Online, is to have fun with your friends, do stupid stuff, have fun. And the actual mode, like I just said, is punishing you for it. If you blow one another up, you kill one another, you will be labeled as a bad sport. And what happens is that if you're labeled a bad sport, you get put into this lobby with a dunce cap on your head, and you have to play with only bad sport players. You cannot play with your friends who are good sports, and it's stupid. I mean, hell, the game's called Grand Theft Auto Online. You're supposed to kill one another. You're supposed to do all that stuff. And yet, like I said, the game doesn't let you. Now, don't misinterpret me. I'm not saying that it's okay to be doing that in the regular Grand Theft Auto Online mode, which is, you know, the only mode that's available to us right now. I'm saying that there really should be like a separate mode to where you can do all that stuff and not suffer some kind of consequence. That's really what I'd like to see to be added in, even more than the friendly mode, because, let's face it, that needs to be there. So let's just say someone is fucking with you and they won't leave you alone. They won't stop killing you. You can either basically go to another session, you can go to Grand Theft Auto 5, the actual story mode, go to the start menu, select an invite-only session, which works, or 3, you can do passive mode, a mode which pretty much will make you invincible to bullets. However, if you get hit by a car, you'll die. However, my personal experience with passive mode is that it doesn't work. I get shot, I die. I get run over, I die. Which, you know, of course, you get run over, you're going to die anyway. But if you get shot, you get punched or whatever, I die. It doesn't work. It's broken. Many people, I think, have experienced this. Everyone that I've played with that's gone into passive mode, they've experienced this. So it makes me believe passive mode might be a form of trolling in some way, because I don't see how Rockstar hasn't fixed this yet, because, like I said, this has been out for a month. It's such a simple thing to fix, and they've yet to fix it. It doesn't work, which is pretty damn annoying. I mean, it's only $100, but it is kind of annoying, you know, thinking that you're completely safe when, in fact, you are not. And not only that, but when you're in passive mode, and someone's fucking with you, and someone's shooting at you, you can't use your gun. You have to sit there and take it up the ass, which is not cool. It's stupid. So passive mode is utterly useless. Another thing I need to touch on are the missions. Basically, you pretty much do missions for characters from Grand Theft Auto 5, like Trevor, Ron, Lester. You do missions for them, and as you rank up, you unlock more people to do missions for. As you start out, the missions pay nothing, and you're pretty much doing mundane stuff. It's pretty much not worth it. So if you want to make money, basically starting out, just go rob stores, because you're going to make $1,000 or more than $1,000 each time, rather than putting in like 10 minutes plus work and only getting at best $2,000 sometimes. I mean, hell, sometimes it's like $1,000. It's ridiculous. It doesn't pay you jack squat. It's stupid. However, some of them do pay you a fairly good amount, so that's great. Some of the missions are fun. Some of them involve stealing helicopters, aircrafts, all that kind of stuff. Those missions are usually kind of cool, and will make the experience fun when you're doing the missions. So now I'm going to talk about the races themselves. I like racing. I like it a lot. It's probably my favorite thing to do in the game because, well, I'm the best at it. However, some people like to cheat, and I'm not talking about the thing I was referencing earlier. I'm talking about people just like to crash into you for no fucking reason other than to win the race. And I'm sorry, that's cheating. It's not right. There's no integrity in that. I try to race with, I mean, look, I know it's a video game and all that, but I try to race with some kind of respect, you know? I don't like people to crash into me, so I'm not going to do it to you. I'm going to just race. I'm going to actually use strategy to beat you, or you're going to use strategy to beat me. Because when you're just crashing into one another, causing a big clusterfuck on the fucking road, that's just unnecessary. It's cheating. And I hate when people do that. And when people do that, I like to quit. And when I quit, I get labeled as a bad sport because I quit a bogus fucking race because people decided to cheat off of one another, or cheat, or just decide to fuck up the entire thing. That's not right. If you're gonna label somebody a bad sport, you should label those people a bad sport. Because I'm not the one crashing into you. I'm not the one that's trying to fuck up your race or anything like that. So the whole bad sports system, it's incredibly flawed. It's admirable, but it's flawed. And it's something that really should be done away with, because there's so many things that can get you labeled a bad sport, and that's just one of them. I mean, it's just simply quitting a game mode. Let's say you have a bad internet connection, or your 360 likes to fuck up, or whatever the problem might be, and your stuff just hangs up, it stops, it freezes, you get disconnected, and you do that, and it does that so many times, you're going to be labeled as a bad sport because you quit those games. And I don't know, I always hate it when games try to punish you for quitting a game or whatever. Look, if you're going to punish someone for quitting a game or anything like that, just don't give them the experience points, or don't give them the money. I mean, you don't have to punish them in that sort of way, because really, the whole bad sport thing, it's kind of extreme. It's just really unbalanced. But back on the racing, if you're starting out or you're on the lower end, you're going to have a hard time keeping up because, well, most people have souped up vehicles by now, and you're pretty much, the only way you're actually going to be able to have any kind of chance is if you do non-custom car races. So basically, you're just racing with stock cars or stock vehicles. That's the only way you're actually going to have probably any sort of luck or doing those races. Which brings me to another problem, is the game lacks a menu. And what I mean is, there really should be a way of actually selecting what type of race you want to race. You know, you should be able to do all that stuff. You can kind of do that if you host the race. However, no one ever joins. And I mean nobody. You're very lucky if someone joins your race. And that is a pretty big problem. You should be able to kind of have a selection. Okay, like let's say you want to race motorcycles. That's what I race with. And you want to select maybe perhaps a certain track to race on. There really should be like a menu screen where you should be able to do that. Instead of having to pick random race, you get to a lobby, you see, oh shit, it's SUVs. I don't want to race SUVs. You exit out and you pretty much continue on until you find a motorcycle race. Sometimes that can take up a couple of minutes, sometimes that can take up to a full hour, and I'm not even kidding. There really should be a way of actually picking and choosing what kind of race you want to race in, because honestly, if you go against someone who has, like I said, souped up vehicles, you're going to get crushed, you're going to lose. So if I'm, focusing on motorcycles and I'm not focusing on muscle or super, and I go into one of those races, I'm going to get destroyed because I don't have the right stuff. Overall, despite all the bitching and complaining that I've done throughout this entire review, I love Grand Theft Auto Online. I do. I really do. I've had a lot of fun with this game. It's been very addicting. It's a game that I'm currently still playing. I've yet to grow bored of it. Some of my friends have. I've yet to do that. It's just a lot of fun. And despite all the horrific, embarrassingly bad problems with Grand Theft Auto Online, it's great. If I were to count all these glitches that I've experienced, throughout the first 2 weeks, I would say Grand Theft Auto Online is probably somewhere between a 2.5 and a 3. I mean, really, it's those first 2 weeks were horrible, but it has gotten better. And counting the fact that I've had a lot of fun with this, I'm gonna give it a decent 4, a 4 out of 5. To simply put it, Grand Theft Auto Online is a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out within the coming months that, from what I understand, is going to be for free, so that's really cool. So yeah, so that's it everyone for my Grand Theft Auto Online review. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I'm Colyn Kirkland, and thank you so much for watching.